Hello everyone, in this video I will discuss how I got 9 bands in IELTS listening, what strategies I followed, what was my practice routine like, and what I did in the examination hall, and how you too can get your desired score in IELTS listening by using the strategies that I'll be sharing with you in this video. In this video, we will also practice a few questions so that you get a better idea of how the questions are asked. So be prepared to take notes and solve questions in the end. I know this video will be very helpful for you, so please watch it till the end. Let's get started. This is my test report form which I got when I did my exam. I got an overall 9 in listening, 7.5 in reading, 7.5 in writing, 8.5 in speaking, and my overall score was 8 bands. Now, following the same strategies and the practice routine, many of my students have gone on to score above 8 bands in IELTS listening. So, I know this video again will be very helpful for you. Okay, to make things a bit simpler for you, I will divide this in two parts. The first is how I practiced, while the second is what I did in the examination hall. So now I'm sharing the preparation strategy. We know how important preparation is, and preparing in the correct way will always yield good results for us. But if we are not preparing correctly, then all our hard work will not get us desired results. Okay, so the first thing which we have to do is we have to use good study material. Now, what is a good study material? Now, what I recommend is for practice, just use the IELTS books. You can see here we have official IELTS Cambridge books. You can download it from the internet. It is easily and readily available. These books are sufficient and cover each question type at least once. See, there is a plenty of content on the internet, but most of it is just bad or outdated, and it will do you more harm than good. So it is better for us just to stick to these books and these books only. All right, if we do this, then our score will definitely improve. And what I suggest is use book 15 onwards. Right now, at the time of recording of this video, we have book 18. All right. So what I recommend is use book 15 through 18 while practicing. Now, if you're watching this video a couple of years later, so at that time, maybe you can go for book 17 to 21, whatever the series is. Just use the last four books. Okay. Use last four books because usually what happens is the syllabus gets updated. So it is better for us to keep that in mind. The second strategy is make sure to do the test in one sitting. The whole test is usually of around 30 minutes. So before attempting the test, make sure that you have somewhere around 30 minutes of time. Once the test has started, do not pause it in the middle. Third is always analyze your test results. As soon as you're done with your test, do the analysis. See where you have made mistakes, identify your weak points, and work on them. An analysis will help you to bring clarity to your performance and you can make improvements. And by the time you will be facing your test, you will be very comfortable and confident. So, the next step is to be used once you are very comfortable and confident in your abilities. So once you're scoring like 35 plus in your listening test out of 40, then I would suggest you to speed up the recording. play the recording at 1.25x. What this will do is you will become a bit more focused. This will help you to take your listening to the next level. Then you will find the test in the normal speed being very easy and you will not miss any information. So I'll just give you an example of what is the difference between normal speed and speed played at 1.25x. Just listen to it carefully.
Excuse me, would you mind if I asked you some questions? We're doing a survey on transport.
Yes, that's okay.
First of all, can I take your name?
Yes, it's Sadie Jones.
Thanks very much. And could I have your date of birth? Just the year will do, actually. Is that all right?
Yes, that's fine. It's 1991.
Alright, so that was at 1x speed. Now let me play it at 1.25x. Now see if you can hear the same recording and just find the difference.
Excuse me, would you mind if I asked you some questions? We're doing a survey on transport.
Yes, that's okay.
First of all, can I take your name?
Yes, it's Sadie Jones.
Thanks very much. And could I have your date of birth? Just the year will do, actually. Is that all right?
Yes, that's fine. It's 1991.
So if you're able to follow at this speed, then you will find your test being very easy, right? In the examination hall as well, when the audio is playing, you will find yourself at a very comfortable place. And the last tip which I'll give you is watch some English movies or web series, preferably British. So this will help you understand accents, pronunciation, some cultural vocabulary and tones. Plus it is fun exercise as well. So now we are moving on to the examination hall. So in this, I'll be sharing information which you need to keep in mind when you are in the examination hall. When you have your test in front of you, what your mindset should be and how you should approach the questions. Okay. Now, first thing is calm yourself before the start of the test. When we are calm, we are more relaxed and focused, and we are less prone to making silly errors. So, what I used to do is I always close my eyes and take deep breaths, and it really relaxed me and it made me better and well prepared for the test. Little things like sharpening your pencils or checking your pen will make a difference because this is a time crunch exam. In this, you are limited by time. So, if in the middle of your test the pencil breaks and you don't have any other pencil, you will be a bit in a panic or rush. So, in order to avoid that, at least have couple of pencils ready and a pen ready as well. You will be given a pair of headphones in the examination hall and you have to check if they are working fine. Now there will be a demo voice which will be playing. See if the headphones are comfortable. There must be no crackle. I mean, there must be no static. The voice must be clear.
Right.
All right. So this is the most important part in our IELTS listening test. That is, during the pauses, read the question and mark keywords. Now, what are keywords? This I will discuss. So don't worry. In this video itself, I will discuss what are keywords. Now, if we use these pauses to their maximum potential, our score will also be good. Knowing the questions will help us to understand what the recording will be about, and then we can make a prediction about what the answers can be. If we have a date, a place, a name, or a quality in the given space. We'll be looking at an example and I'll tell you what to do and how to identify keywords. So again, don't worry. Read a few questions ahead and be ready to skip if you have missed anything. So in the beginning, you will hear the voice saying, now read questions dash to dash. So that means the recording will have the information only about the said question numbers. Now try to read and remember as much of the question asked as possible. It will help you to skip in case you lose the track of the recording. The last step is write in capital letters on your response sheet. So this is a response sheet that you will be getting in your IELTS listening test. Alright, so here you have to write your name, here you have to write your candidate number, you've got to write the test dates, and this is our answer space. So here we have to write our answers. So let's say for example, the answer for question number 1 is gym. So you can write gym like this, you can write it like this, but you cannot write it like this because gym is a noun and a noun starts with a capital letter. So in order to avoid this, what we can do is write everything in capitals because this will be marked as incorrect. Though our answer is correct, but we will not be getting points for this. And another reason is because capital letters are usually easily read by the examiners. I mean, my handwriting is not too good, but still, if I write in capitals, it will be slightly better than if I write it in cursive. So we have 10 minutes at the end of the test to take down our answers in the response sheet. So during our recordings, our focus should be only on the questions and the recording. Note down the answers in the question paper next to the question, and only in the last 10 minutes you need to fill your answer sheet. Okay, you need to fill your response sheet. So let's say 30 minutes plus you get 10 minutes for transferring your answers. So that time is specifically to transfer your answers. And in these 30 minutes, just answer the questions and write it on your question paper. All right. Now, like I said, these pauses are very important and I'll be discussing. So in the next slide that you will see, I'll be taking up how to deal with pauses. All right, so we have an example in front of us. You will be getting around 30 to 40 seconds to read all these questions, and after that the recording will start. Now what we have to do, how we have to approach these questions, that is something we will discuss right now. So first is instructions. Here it says one word or a number for each answer. So we know that the answer will be only of a one word or a number. So we need to keep this in mind when we are attempting our answers. Now the next is the heading. This will tell us what the recording will be about. In this case, it is about job details from an employment agency. Now we can assume that a person will be inquiring about job from an agency. So this is how we need to approach the test. Alright, so looking at this information, I don't think it should take more than 4 to 5 seconds. So in 4 to 5 seconds, what we have done is we have read the instructions. Okay, so we know that it is only one word or a number, and we know what the title is. Job details from employment agency. So the phone call will be a person inquiring about job details. Okay, so now we have to move on to the questions. So the first question will be about role. The information about job or the position is given. All right. So here we know it is one word. So what is a role? It is a job or a position. So it can be a singular noun like a teacher, right? Clerk, receptionist, painter, etc. So it can be anything, a singular noun, just one word. So question 2 is possibly the name of a building or a complex, right? So this is Fordham Dash Center. So the person will say it is building Fordham Community Center, Convention Center, or anything, something like that. All right, so we know that this is the name of the building or complex, right? Simple as that. The person will say the full name, Fordham Dash Center. So this will be as it is. A third question is definitely the name of the road because we have road in here. So we can easily predict what kind of answers we will have. All right, simple as that. We can make predictions that here something will be, some name of the road will be given, like Black Road or anything, something like that. Okay, Black Road is just an example. So this should not take more than 10 seconds. We have made an assumption what the role would be. Here we know it will be a noun, a singular noun, because we know we have one word. Okay, now we are moving on to work involves. So here the recording will give information about the work itself, what work is required from the candidate. First, they will discuss about that they are required to deal with inquiries. Second would be making dash and reorganizing them. So here we know that we have a job to do. So it is something. So we have to make something and reorganize them. Here we are looking for what the person would be making. It can be appointments, right? It can be files, anything. Okay, so we need to find something like that, and they'd be reorganizing them later. Next objective is maintaining the internal dash. What can be the answer in this? It can be a record, right? A journal or something like that. So we have made assumptions that things will be something. So first of all, the work will talk about dealing with inquiries, then making something and reorganizing them. Then they'll be saying that they have to maintain the internal data or records or something like that. Then last they'll say general administration is also required of them. So in this sequence they will go. So this will also should not take somewhere around 20 seconds. So we can see if we add here somewhere around 4 to 5 seconds. So around 30 seconds, somewhere around 30 to 35 seconds, we can easily get an idea of all the questions. So this is how we have to approach the questions. Now we are looking at another example, and this is a multiple choice questions. All right, so this is an MCQ. So here we have to select one option from the three given options, right? So we have three options every time. So we have to select the best one option. So in this type of question, we need to be aware of both questions as well as three options because we get around 30 seconds. So here we need questions as well as the options. Here we must quickly identify and highlight the keywords associated with each of the questions and options. What I like to do is I like to circle the words which I feel are important in the question and about which the information would be shared. Now, looking at question 11, the question reads the museum building was originally, all right, the museum building was originally. Now, this is the important part. As far as I know, the recording will talk about all the three options. It will talk about it being a factory, a private home, a hall of residence, and we will get confused. We need to focus on the word originally here. So, this is an important word because it is asked what was the building in the beginning. So three options are again very easy. It is a factory, a private home, or a residence. So here the keyword is museum building. Obviously, it is our main noun, and originally. We are moving on to the next question. Now here, the three important words are university, part, as well as museum building. So again, we need to listen to the recording which has information about all the three. So universities uses a part of the museum building as teaching room, research library or admin offices. So again, these three options are again very easy. So we need to focus just on what the university uses as a part of the museum building. Okay, just this part we need to focus on. So these options are again easy. Now in question 3, the first thing we notice is the options are very long. So what to do in this case? We will go through it. So these questions are a bit trickier than these ones because, but here since the options are very long, we need to shorten the options as well. We have to quickly identify and highlight the keyword associated with each of the question as well as the options. Since the options are very long, we will not get time to read it. So what we need to do is we need to highlight the questions as well as options. Now in this question, we have just one keyword. Alright, that is entrance fee. So we need to listen about entrance fees. But the options here are a bit longer. We need to figure out what each of the options says. Remember, the recording will not just blatantly ignore the two options. It will always have information about all the three. It can be present as distractor or as a varied information, but it will be there. So it is our job to find which is most relevant. To do that, we must understand each of the options. Option 1, quickly we can read it. Visitor decide if whether to pay or not. Here we have decide and whether they wish to pay. So these are the two keywords. Okay. Second is only children and students receive a discount. So here we have children and students and they receive a discount. Right? So these are the three ones. The third is the museum charges extra for special exhibitions. So here is extra for special exhibitions and charges. So this is how we need to highlight our keywords. So when recording says something about entrance fees, we must keep this in mind. Whether it is talking about visitors wish or children and student getting discounts or extra charges for special exhibitions. So the last question is again pretty simple, is about the items which are advised to be left in cloakroom. So here the options are easy. All right, it can be either cameras, coats, or bags. So the words to remember are just leave and cloakroom. Simple. All right. So I hope that you have gotten a good idea of what to do. This should not take again more than 30 seconds. So let's practice with some real examples. Here, you will listen to the audio, focus on it, and answer the questions asked. Alright, so you have about 30 odd seconds to read the questions. And after that, the audio will start.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Excuse me, would you mind if I asked you some questions? We're doing a survey on transport.
Yes, that's okay.
First of all, can I take your name?
Yes, it's Sadie Jones.
Thanks very much. And could I have your date of birth? Just the year will do, actually. Is that all right?
Yes, that's fine. It's 1991.
So, next, your postcode, please.
It's DW30 7YZ.
Great, thanks. Is that in Wells?
No, it's actually in Harborne. Wells isn't far from there, though.
I really like that area. My grandmother lived there when I was a kid.
Yes, it is nice.
Right, so now I want to ask you some questions about how you travelled here today. Did you use public transport?
Yes, I came by bus.
OK, and that was today. It's the 24th of April, isn't it?
Isn't it the 25th? No, actually, you're right.
And what was the reason for your trip today? I can see you've got some shopping with you.
Yes, I did some shopping, but the main reason I came here was to go to the dentist.
That's not much fun. Hope it was nothing serious.
No, it was just a checkup. It's fine.
Good. Do you normally travel by bus into the city centre?
Yes, I stopped driving in ages ago because parking was so difficult to find. And it costs so much.
I see.
The bus is much more convenient too. It only takes about 30 minutes.
That's good. So where did you start your journey?
At the bus stop on Claxby Street.
Is that CLAXBY?
That's right.
Alright, so that was your test. I hope that you were able to answer some. Now we'll just look at the answers. So the first answer was DW307YZ. The second was 24th of April. Now here, what is expected is you can either write like this or 24th. If you have written, both are correct. Alright. And here we have dentist, traveled by bus because cost of parking was too high, and Lexby. So this was spelt. है ना? If something is spelt, then it is usually your answers. So we will just look at one more question example and then we will conclude. So this is your question. Read it. You will be getting some time and then answer the questions.
You will hear a woman speaking to a group of people who are interested in becoming volunteers for an organisation called ACE. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good evening, everyone. Let me start by welcoming you all to this talk and thanking you for taking the time to consider joining ACE Voluntary Organisation. ACE offers support to people and services in the local area, and we're now looking for more volunteers to help us do this. By the way, I hope you're all comfortable. We have brought in extra seats so that no one has to stand, but it does mean that the people at the back of the room may be a bit squashed. We'll only be here for about half an hour, so hopefully that's okay. One of the first questions we're often asked is how old you need to be to volunteer. Well, you can be as young as 16, or you can be 60 or over. It all depends on what type of voluntary work you want to do. Other considerations, such as reliability, are crucial in voluntary work, and age isn't related to these, in our experience. Another question we get asked relates to training. Well, there's plenty of that, and it's all face-to-face. What's more, training doesn't end when you start working for us. It takes place before, during, and after periods of work. Often, it's run by other experienced volunteers, as managers tend to prefer to get on with other things. Now, I would ask you to consider a couple of important issues before you decide to apply for voluntary work. We don't worry about why you want to be a volunteer. People have many different reasons that range from getting work experience to just doing something they've always wanted to do. But it is critical that you have enough hours in the day for whatever role we agree is suitable for you. If being a volunteer becomes stressful, then it's best not to do it at all. You may think that your income is important, but we don't ask about that. It's up to you to decide if you can work without earning money. What we value is dedication. Some of our most loyal volunteers earn very little themselves, but still give their full energy to the work they do with us.
All right, so that was the test. Now we are looking at the answers. So for first 11, that is, she said some of them were very close together. The 12th answer is the age of volunteers is less important than other factors. 13th is the training is continuous, and the two options which we needed to choose were two issues which speaker as the audience to consider before applying to volunteers is their level of commitment as well as availability, right? Their financial situation was also said, their work experience was also said, but the correct answers were these two. So you can comment your score below. If you got all 10 correct, then very good. If not, then also no worries, you will definitely improve. Just practice and analyze your mistakes and keep on practicing and improving. That is it. So please drop a like if you learned something. It will motivate me to make more videos.